Thompson. I am the programming director for the Fort Myers Beach International Film Festival. I am so excited for this one because we have a fantastic filmmaker and producer, actors jumping on, who is also the 2019 Fort Myers Beach International Film Festival for Best Short Film and Audience Choice Award. So she's an alumni, which is great. She has two fantastic short films in the festival this year, Stormchaser and Always. Super excited to welcome you guys, Sarah Donnelly. What's up?
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you, especially doing this whole virtual thing. But it's great to see you. I'm super excited to have you back for your second year, yeah?
Yeah, second year in a row. It's really, really fun for me as a filmmaker and, you know, producer and actress and all that to actually say, well, we have done now 3 different films that are all wildly different from one another. And whatever we're making, you seem to be enjoying and your team seems to be enjoying. So that's really, that's what you want as a, you know, an artist. You kind of want to create art that people actually want to see. So that's really fun.
I mean, obviously, congratulations from last year, right? You won the best short film for The Statement and Audience Choice Award, I believe, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I had no idea we were going to sort of go that far. It was really fun. That makes it feel, I mean, it feels great.
I do remember at the awards ceremony, this was actually a funny story. I'm sorry I didn't tell you this. I was going to tell this story a minute ago. But at the awards ceremony, when you know the best short film was announced, and then was the Audience Choice Award, and you like yelled out like, "What?" Like just no idea. And I was just like, "Oh, that's so great." But yeah, that was
genuinely surprised. I think I didn't know there was such an award. I didn't really know we were up for Best Short. I think because there weren't nominations announced for that. Right. I knew that I had it was fun to have a Best Actress sort of nom there. And I remember the winner ended up giving me kind of a Beyonce style shout out, which I thought was really fun.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's
I feel so cool right now. Yeah.
It's good that you should have done a Taylor Swift thing and went up and took the microphone and been
I'll let you finish, but yeah.
Well, you have 2 absolutely fantastic films in the festival this year. One's called Stormchaser and Always. Stormchaser is both films are absolutely beautiful. But tell us a little bit about those films and sort of your involvement in them. So you've done a lot of work, so I want to hear more about those films and you.
Okay. Well, so Stormchaser, obviously I'm not the writer of either of these. I'm not the director of either of these. So part of that, you know, the heart and the story and the visual really goes to the directors, both female directors. So Stormchaser was written and directed by Gretel Claggett, and Always was written and directed by Natalie Shaheen, who's also one of my best friends. And nepotism completely, but she actually wrote the project for me, which I thought was really, really touching. We just understanding me as an actress and wanting to kind of push a story that she had in her heart along. But Stormchaser, I was a producer of with Gretel. And we filmed this amazing production by the skin of our teeth in Vermont. You know, it's a story of a woman who's been down on her luck, and she's sort of fighting this metaphorical storm within herself. She's fighting a physical storm that, you know, she grew up storm chasing. So it's a very allegorical story to what's going on kind of in society, what's happening politically, what's happening with climate change. And we had such a absolutely spectacularly talented cast and crew, and then on top of it, everyone that was involved in post-production, just amazing VFX teams and Company 3 doing the color grading. And we worked with these beautiful Sony, you know, Venice cameras with, you know, full frame Sigma lenses, and it just caught this spectacular visual sort of onslaught of beauty. And I love that film for that. And then Always was done on a much smaller, truly indie budget with a beautiful cinematographer in New York, Stephen Carmona, and we worked with the Canon and that camera and really finding a single location and just trying to find ways to beautifully light this. And it's a very lyrical story of grief and depression and how that can impact anybody and what it means when you've lost kind of a piece of yourself and you just completely withdraw, and where do you find that light and hope. And this woman, Grace, that I play as the actress, kind of finds that in a slightly unexpected place.
Yeah, going back to Stormchaser for a minute. I mean, I mentioned this to you many times, and for those who are watching, Sarah and I first met at Fort Myers Beach Film Festival, and then we were at Niagara Falls Film Festival up north. So I had a chance to see that on the big screen there, and the cinematography and the color of that is absolutely amazing. The whole film is great. So Stormchaser is streamed September 26th at 5:30, and if it's okay with you, I would love to show everybody watching a quick clip of Stormchaser.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Let's take a look.
TikTok, Blue.
Flip, a guy over on Country Road pulled a gun on me.
Rejections, part of the job.
Yeah, I know, but he said the impact-resistant shingles he bought here fell off in the first storm. Now, why...
Would he say that? Because buyers are... liars.
Us. I don't...
Get it? Yeah, we know. Now, on to important matters.
Wow. The acting in that whole film is incredible. What did the casting process look like for this film? And did you have a hand in it, or how much involvement did you have as a producer?
In the casting?
Yeah.
None at all.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, no, the casting was actually done by the time I came to that project, because I came in slightly late in the game. There was some stuff that had gone a little bit awry in terms of aspects of the pre-production process that had happened, and I kind of got brought in a little bit as like a fixer for how we're going to carry this actually to production and carry it all the way through. So by the time I was there, so many of the pieces had started that motion already. So the cast was already attached. Jennifer Peralta, Jimian, in New York, is a casting director. And so we had this great cast put together, and I was really involved in working with the cast and, coordinating things with them and helping them sort of through the process of doing this remote shoot in Vermont. But the choice of cast, no, I cannot take credit for that. That would be the casting director and Gretel that did that. Wow. But Mary Birdsong gives an amazing performance. You don't get to see her do drama a whole lot. So I thought she really was very vulnerable, and you feel that you want to champion, her cause. And I mean, my gosh, Stephen Plunkett as Flip Smith is just such a good kind of like Trumpian.
I hate him so much in the film, but I think that's what we all wanted. I was just like,
And he's such a sweet man and such a talented actor, but like, he's just, I mean, even this clip is like, you're only getting a little morsel of all of the stuff. Yeah. He's so good.
That's the whole film. I mean, again, if those who are watching, you have to see it. It is a beautifully shot film, beautiful story. I mean, watching it, you're thinking, is this a feature film? It's so well done, Sarah. So you should be extremely proud of the project, which is actually
Thank you. We're really. I mean, that's the director Gretel and her vision, and she like sort of had this. I think she might have told you back in the day. It was like a piece of poetry, and then she did. Yeah, she expanded that into a longer story, and then into a screenplay, and then kind of fought like heck to get it to be able to go to screen. And then she and I were a team getting this through, and of course cinematography by our DPs and Jeff Berlin, and it's just really, we're very proud of the way it turned out.
Yeah. I think, sorry, I've known you for a little bit now. I think, the one thing I really want to know about both these films, I want to talk about Always in a second, is for Stormchaser, what are you most proud about for Stormchaser?
Oh, goodness. Probably depends on the day that you ask, because at one point it was just like, we did it. We got through. Because it was it was a really, really tough shoot. So just actually making it through to the other side and being like, we got it. We got the film in the can. We made this happen. Holy moly. Like, because for a little bit, it seemed like we might not get it. It was tough, really tough. But just really the spirit of everyone who got behind it. And being able to work with these awesome companies, like we worked with Company 3, and they, sponsored us like all the way through having an HDR finish, and just, doing this amazing, you're working with people who are doing the Joker movies and doing, so like having that, people believe in this sort of little project that could enough. And our like VFX artists, this couple that's based out of Vancouver, like they just did this amazing thing. So it really felt like this massive collaboration. So I'm really proud of how it turned out visually. I'm proud that it feels like going to like a major Hollywood feature film kind of condensed into less than 30 minutes. And people seem to really get it, and it's really fun to sit in a theater and hear people laugh at the exact right moments, because it is funny. It's meant to be like tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Yeah, it is such a good movie, and I'm super honored that you've allowed us to play it this year at the festival. So we're really excited. I'm really sorry that this didn't turn out to be like an in-person thing, but who saw this coming, right?
Yeah, no, none of us.
No. If I, we were at, I think we all went out the first night in Niagara. I think we were all like having like wine at this like cool place, and I think that was probably the last time I was like sort of like social. And I think it might have been Stanley. He's like, "Hey, do you want another glass of wine?" Or actually, no, I think it would have been. Oh man, the director of the statement. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now.
Oh, Kenyon.
Kenya, yes. I think he's like, he went up to pour me another glass of wine. And he's like, I'm like, no, I'm okay. But that was like the last time I was out, and if I knew that was the case, I would have accepted him on that second glass of wine.
Well, because you have new baby, and
right.
yeah. It's just, I know you should have, could have, would have. I guess you can have multiple now.
Right. So you also have another film called Always, which is absolutely beautiful, and you're in the film, which is great. So tell us a little bit more about that production, how it differs from Stormchaser, and just give us a little background of that.
So that one, the biggest difference is obviously there's, the running time is a pretty clear difference. It's a little 7-minute piece, including credits. It's a very lyrical style that it's not really this linear story. It's a little bit more like a visual poem. And we worked with a really, really, really microscopic budget, like almost a non-existent budget on this. So the goal was, can we tell a beautiful story with very little money? And, can we do something in one location, and can it have heart and meaning with limited cast? I mean, it was kind of almost like a COVID style film.
Yeah.
Limited cast, limited interaction, really small crew. So, everyone who worked on it worked, for peanuts or favors. And it was just a collaboration of friends who were like, let's try to do this thing together. And so we shot it in Brooklyn in 2 days. And it's a very special little film because it has a little bit of a layered meaning for both Natalie, who's really the writer and creator, and the heart behind it. But there were pieces that we worked together as producing team on this from the inception of how do we get this story told. And there were a bunch of different versions of it, and they're all different than what ended up kind of being the thing that we settled on. But figuring out those pieces that connected in both of us to this type of material.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful film, and I'm really shocked to hear right now that it was a lower budget production, because it does not look that way at all. Great. Well done to that team. Actually, I want to show everybody a quick clip. Say that 10 times. Of the film Always. Here we go.
Oh, Angela, my bambino, go to sleep. All the stars are in the skies, ready to say goodnight. Can't you see your dolly sleepy too? Wow. I mean, it's just a quick blurb of it, but I mean, cinematography is fantastic for being a budget of really low, like you mentioned, is incredible. So well done, Sarah. Well done. Yeah, I mean, really that, especially again, as a producer, I helped put that together, and then I had to let it go because it's really Natalie's vision, Natalie's writing. Natalie was a phenomenal director to work with, and this was her first piece that she's directed. Wow. Is such a good eye for understanding story. And she herself is an actress, has been a working actress for a long time and really understands talking to actors. So for me to work with her as an actress was like a gift because she would really communicate to me or know when to back off. And, the fact that I had to be pretty emotionally raw for the entire thing, kind of played a part. And then Stephen Carmona is a really talented cinematographer, and he's like somebody who understands working sort of gritty and indie and help set the stage in a very limited space. Like we didn't have a whole lot of space to work with in a place in Brooklyn that we rented. So wow, I mean, fantastic. I'm really excited for everyone to see it. For those who are watching, it's streamed September 26th at 7 p.m. So I have a couple questions for you. I've known you for about a year now, but you are, I think, by far one of the hardest working people
in the industry that I've seen. You were a hustler, which is, I think, amazing. And you also, which I thought was really interesting, you mentioned this to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you try to really work with an all-female crew at times, correct?
Yeah, we just did it. Well, I say just because who knows what day it is anymore. In the winter time before COVID, we had just completed a project that we got into the can. And so we've been in the editing process from that for a whole other project called Chronicles of a Bleep-Year-Old Woman, which is a comedic web series. And so that was almost an entirely female crew. Not, it's not entirely, I certainly wouldn't not work with anybody because of any of these reasons, but because it's a female-centric project and it was trying to put more seats at the table and create more space for women in this industry, it was really important for us to at least push to say, okay, yes, we're going to have, it's a female writer, female producer, female director, female DP, female AD, so on and so on. So
that's incredible. And you're going to be on the Women in Film panel.
Yeah.
I don't run a blank on the date of that right now, but I think you're
2 weeks, something like that.
I think it's Saturday, Friday. I should look at the schedule. But yeah, that's going to be great. I think your insight of that is going to be fantastic. We have a panel full of some really fantastic female filmmakers who are part of this festival this year. A lot of them I'm interviewing tonight, which is great. So great. How long have you been in the industry for some time? Roughly how long would you say?
I don't know. It's really hard. I mean, so I've been, I started as an actress and did comedy in the city. So, and the city being New York, we're all sort of pompous and it's the only city apparently. But the city. So I did that. I mean, I moved to New York a long time ago. So, I mean, it's well over a decade, 14 years maybe. Wow. But of course, not producing the entire time, that just sort of was something that evolved. And then I started my company officially, I think 5 years ago.
Okay.
Something like that, or going on 5 years ago was officially the start of my production company. But
wow. And what's your production company called again?
Palikari Pictures.
Palikari Pictures. Awesome. So for those who are watching, check them out. They're fantastic. So you've been producing for about 5 years.
More than that. It was that's when I sort of made it official as a company, because the projects were getting bigger and bigger where I just was not in a position to say it's smart to just be Sarah producing. Sort of have a more professional entity behind me, and then we could start actually optioning projects and developing things from inception and having sort of a bit of a mission statement. So we've done everything from narrative features and shorts. And I was working on a documentary that I decided to walk away from a little bit because of just production issues, but commercials, we sort of kept expanding as a brand, and then COVID happened and now we're figuring out next things.
Yeah, what's it going to look like now? Yeah. So if you could give your younger producer self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Ooh, I have so many. Young Sarah needed to learn a lot.
It's like a therapy session now.
Is that as a younger actress and younger networker that I wasn't really good about. And because I found it so obnoxious when people are kind of who do you know and what can you do for me thing that happens a lot, especially in LA. And that I never really ever took advantage of genuine contacts and pretty big people that I ended up knowing, befriending, having access to that, maybe wanted to keep in touch with me, but I just, sort of they probably don't want to hear from me then, So just being a little bit more diplomatically bold about when you have a genuine relationship, actually saying, okay, can we find a way to collaborate together? Instead of maybe letting an opportunity pass me by a little too quickly in the younger years.
That's fantastic advice. That's awesome. Well, listen, Sarah, we have to run for now, but we could talk, obviously for an hour, hours, but thank you so much for joining. It's fantastic. It's always good to catch up with you. And you're down at a film festival now. So you're always working, which is amazing.
Yeah, I got a screening after this virtually. That's a first for me. It's a place in New Jersey, but I won't be at. And then tomorrow night in Richmond. So keeping busy, but it's been really lovely to see you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, of the panel. Obviously, I'm looking forward to playing your films. Guys, again, Stormchaser plays September 26th at 5:30, and always plays the same day at 7 p.m. You can get tickets at fmbfilmfest.com. All watch it from the safety of your home. So thank you so much. Sarah, it was good seeing you.
Yeah, good seeing you too. Thank you.
Have a festival. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, thank you so much for your time and effort today. Sarah is an absolutely amazing filmmaker, so please keep in touch with her and check out her films. They're absolutely amazing. Guys, my name is Kyle B. Thompson. I'm the program and director for the Fort Myers Beach International Film Festival. You can follow me on Instagram at Kyle B. Thompson. But yeah, stick around. Festival's in 2 weeks. Looking forward to it. But until then, take care.